Alright, so this takes place when I was 17, which is basically the legal age for making questionable decisions fueled by $3 gas station energy drinks and false confidence. I had this friend Jay who could talk you into anything just by sounding sure of himself. If Jay said, "Bro, we could totally build a boat out of lawn chairs," I'd be on YouTube searching lawn chair yacht tutorials like it was a real industry. It's a Thursday night, I'm half asleep, doing terrible at a game I swear I used to be good at, when my phone lights up. It's Jay. "Yo, you hungry?" Which, translated from Jay speak, means come be stupid with me and also maybe get pancakes. I'm like, I could eat, and he says, "Bet, I'm outside." That's mistake number one, I actually go outside. Jay's car was not a car so much as an ongoing negotiation with gravity. Silver sedan, paint faded in a way that looked intentional from a distance but up close just said I've seen things. The headliner sagged like a tired hammock, the seatbelt light dinged even when you wore it, and the speedometer treated numbers like suggestions. The passenger door squeaked when you opened it and clunked shut like a coffin lid when you closed it, which felt on brand for whatever the night was about to be. I hop in, we do the bro head nod, and he's like, "Diner?" Because at that hour, you have three choices: diner, gas station, or making life decisions you'll apologize for at graduation. We pick diner. We roll up at 12:45, neon sign buzzing like a mosquito that learned electricity, chrome siding reflecting exactly two cars in the lot, one of which looked abandoned sometime during the flip phone era. The other car is not a car, it's a matte black van with tint so deep it could double as a portable eclipse. Do I clock it? Yes. Do I take it seriously? Absolutely not, because I'm 17 and pancakes exist. Inside, the bell over the door gives us the saddest little ding, like even it was exhausted from the dinner rush that never happened. The place is dead. One waitress at the counter scrolling on her phone, name tag says Deb in Sharpie like someone gave up on corporate name tags, a cook in back having beef with an actual beef patty, and in the corner booth, a guy. Trench coat, sunglasses, indoors, at night, nursing black coffee like it owes him money and refuses to pay. He looks like he got cut from a spy movie for being too on the nose. We sit one booth over because we are both curious and allergic to self-preservation. Deb slides by and goes, "Midnight pancake special or bad decision burger?" Jay points at the menu like he's placing a complicated stock order and says, "Yes, and bacon, and yes again." I mirror it because peer pressure is powerful and also I love pancakes with the loyalty of a golden retriever. We're clowning quietly, I'm unwrapping the butter like performing surgery, when trench coat guy stands, walks over, and without hello or eye contact sets a Rubik's cube on our table. He says, 5 minutes. Then he taps it twice with his knuckle, talk, and walks outside like this is a normal thing adults do at diners. Jay goes, "Oh, I got this," which is a bold statement from a man who once locked himself out of a push door. He grabs the cube, starts spinning it like panic is a valid algorithm. I'm trying to help with phrases I only know from YouTube like, make the white daisy, build the first layer, trust the method. He's like, "Bro, I barely understand flowers," and I'm like, "Same, but pretend we do." 2 minutes in, Jay is sweating like there's a prize money clock. Through the window, trench coat guy is leaning against the matte van, talking on a flip phone like time stopped for him in 2009. Deb walks by, glances at the cube, and goes, "Haven't seen one of those since my ex-husband," then keeps walking, which raises follow-up questions none of us ask. By 4 minutes, our white cross looks more like white chaos and I'm pretending that's phase 1. At exactly 5 minutes, the doorbell dings, trench coat guy comes back in, picks up the cube, inspects it like it insulted his lineage, and says, "Pathetic." Then he takes the cube and leaves. We try to eat our pancakes fast enough to bury the memory under syrup. I go to pay, and Deb slides me the receipt with a note scribbled at the bottom that says, "If he comes back alone, leave." She immediately looks like she regrets writing it, then returns to pretending her phone is a portal out of here. I fold the receipt like a clue and pocket it because I watch movies badly. We leave. The air feels heavy in that way where you think it might be your imagination until your friend says, "Do you feel that?" and now it's a team delusion. We pull onto the main road and a pair of headlights appears in the rearview like a bad thought catching up. Closer, closer, and it's the van. No marker lights, no hurry, just present. Jay taps the gas. The engine makes a noise like a kettle screaming into a pillow and we gain maybe 1 mile per hour and a migraine. We make a left. Van makes a left. We make a right, quick. Van makes a right, not quick. Patient. We hit a red light at a dead intersection, laundromat, nail salon, a streetlight buzzing like neon crickets. The van pulls up in the lane beside us. The window slides down like a curtain being dramatic, and trench coat guy lifts the cube into view. One face solved. He taps it against the door frame once, talk, and stares forward. The light turns green and he doesn't move. He lets us go first, like we just won a prize we definitely didn't want. Jay floors it, which in this car means we accelerate from concern to mild concern. We cut through a neighborhood with mailboxes shaped like miniature barns, take a left too fast, the seatbelt light starts dinging despite both of us wearing them correctly, which feels like the car's way of panic screaming with us. We blow past the elementary school and rocket toward the gas station where we know the night clerk, Manny, who has never solved a problem in his life but is undefeated at seeing things and shrugging about them. We whip around the side of the building and kill the lights next to a dumpster that smells like someone threw out a memory of onions. The van glides into the lot and stops in front of the main doors facing the store. No one gets out. Just idling like a thought that won't leave. Inside, Manny is behind the counter watching a soccer rerun from a decade ago on a TV smaller than my phone. He glances at the van, then at us peeking around the dumpster like feral cats, picks up the phone, dials a number from muscle memory, and goes, "He's here, with the kids," then hangs up and returns to soccer like he just ordered a pizza. I mouth, "Who did you call?" and Manny gives me the international symbol for I am not adding context, a shrug. We wait long enough to regret all known choices. A regular sedan pulls in for gas, and the van peels away smooth as butter and follows it out like it lost interest or changed levels. We exhale like we're both trying to inflate a balloon. We slide into the store, grab 2 sports drinks we will not enjoy, and Manny leans forward and says, "You boys like puzzles?" I say no. He nods like that was the correct answer and adds, "If you see him again, don't look in the mirror." I say, "Why?" and he goes, "I work nights for minimum wage, that is not a question I can afford to answer, which is honestly fair." We go home, pretending the world is normal because we have to sleep sometimes. I lock my door like I'm auditioning for Fort Knox and slide Deb's receipt under a notebook, because hiding evidence from myself is my coping mechanism. The next day is school and pretending not to be haunted in Algebra 2. Jay and I say nothing because if you say the weird thing out loud in daylight, you have to believe it twice. After school he texts, "Come over, bring common sense," and I'm like, I only have one of those. I get to his place and he's at his desk with a Ziploc bag full of Rubik's Cube pieces like a crime scene kit. Center caps, edge pieces, corner pieces, the spring-loaded core, stickers peeled and arranged on a post-it note like he's doing evidence photos. He says, "It was in my mailbox like this, no note, and every piece has a tiny dot on the inside like someone marked the orientation on purpose." We hold the pieces up to the light and the dots are so precise they might be printed. We try to reassemble it because teenagers and hubris are best friends. We look up a tutorial and get to the part where you're supposed to stretch the last layer in and everything pops apart like the cube is rejecting our energy. Jay's little sister walks in, looks at the mess, and says, "You guys are bad at toys," then leaves to go be successful elsewhere. At dinner time, the landline rings, yes, the actual house phone, and Jay picks up. He goes, "Hello," and then his face does that thing where blood leaves to go find a new home. He mouths, "It's him." The voice says, "You have 24 hours. Then it hangs up. Jay's mom, from the other room, goes, "Telemarketers are getting bold," and we both agree to her reality because it's safer. That night, we're in his room pretending homework is real when there's a soft knock on the window. We freeze. He lifts the blind with one finger and there's nobody there, but sitting on the sill is a Rubik's cube, solved, pristine, and on this one the tiny dots are on the outside centers like someone said, "Let me make this worse." Jay sets it on the desk and says, "Okay, new plan." He puts both cubes, the solved one and the disassembled one we failed to resurrect, into a shoebox, tapes it shut like we're sending a package to the part of the ocean where secrets go, and shoves it to the back of his closet behind trophies for participation and one for a spelling bee he swears was rigged. For a couple days, life tries to be normal. Little wrongness leaks through the edges. Streetlights linger on red, the exact same extra beat on different corners. My phone alarm goes off at 3:07 a.m. 3 nights in a row and I don't remember setting it. I find a green cube sticker stuck to the bottom of my shoe, then a blue one near my backpack zipper, then a white one on my wall like a smug snowflake. At work, I'm restocking tape at the hardware store and a woman in a not warm enough rain jacket slides a list across the counter: duct tape, small screwdriver, lubricant. Out of context, a vibe. She smiles and says, "It's for a cube. Then, tell your friend not to finish it." I go, "What friend?" and she says nothing helpful, because that's our brand now, and leaves like she delivered a curse and has dinner to get to. That night, Jay says he threw both cubes away, took the shoebox to the school dumpster and fed it to a lasagna of cafeteria leftovers. We both feel lighter for maybe an hour. Then his mom walks in holding an envelope with his name typed on a label like the world's politest threat. Inside is a Polaroid of the school dumpster, lid closed, and on top of it, 2 cubes, sitting there like they grew out of the metal. The timestamp says 5 minutes ago. We go. The sky is doing that late evening purple where everything looks like a memory. We get to the dumpster, lift the lid, and there on a mostly clean pizza box are the cubes. Not solved, not scrambled, arranged in alternating rings of 2 colors like someone made patterns to say, "I'm paying attention to the rules and breaking them anyway." We do not touch them. Jay lowers the lid like he's closing a conversation and says, "I'm done." We try to enforce done. But done doesn't stick, it just softens things. A flyer appears on the library board that says Speedcubers Meetup and has a QR code that opens your front camera like a mirror joke. Jay gets a text from an unknown number that says, 5 minutes is a long time when you owe it. I delete 3 different drafts of replies ranging from "who is this" to "stop being poetic" and go outside. Weeks pass and I see trench coat guy one more time in daylight, walking out of the post office like he just returned something to a different timeline. No trench coat, just a jacket, sunglasses still on because now the sun agrees with him. He passes close enough for me to smell cold air and coffee and lightly taps a payphone with his knuckle. Talk. I swear the sound echoes longer than it should, like it got stuck inside something and kept bouncing until it found a corner it liked. I turn to follow and he is swallowed by a crowd I did not notice was there. Jay and I do not talk about it, not really. The shoebox is taped shut and lives at the back of his closet behind old trophies and a stack of shirts he outgrew but will not donate for reasons unknown. Sometimes he texts, "I think I heard a tiny click from the closet," and I reply, "Houses settle," and he says, "They don't settle in perfect 90-degree increments." He's not wrong and I hate that. Every now and then I'm at a crosswalk and a stranger next to me pulls out a cube and their fingers go flick 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 like they learned guitar on it. Sometimes they solve it and smile private. Sometimes they tap it twice, talk, talk. And set it down on a planter like a business card for whoever needs to be invited next. I don't pick it up. I keep walking. And if you're wondering whether I ever solved a cube after all this, the answer is no, because I don't think the point was ever the puzzle. I think it was the timer. But just in case I'm wrong, I keep a tiny sticker in my wallet as a reminder that if a guy in a trench coat ever hands you something in a diner and says 5 minutes, you should probably ask, 5 minutes for what? If he doesn't answer, pay your bill, tip Deb well, and leave before he's alone.